What if ancient whispers, carried on the Pacific winds, could tell us a story of brilliance, mystery, and eventual collapse? Imagine a tiny, isolated speck of land, thousands of miles from any continent, where a civilization, seemingly against all odds, achieved something monumental. Welcome to Easter Island, or Rapa Nui, a place that defies easy explanation. Here, hundreds of colossal stone figures known as Moai stand in silent, majestic vigil, their backs to the sea, their gaze fixed on the secrets they hold. Who were the people who carved these giants from solid rock? How did they move them across challenging terrain? And what led to the heartbreaking decline of this extraordinary culture? Join us now as we embark on an unforgettable journey to unravel the most profound mysteries of this remote Polynesian enigma and discover the lost civilization that left behind an enduring legacy of stone. Now let's talk about the impossible. When you first see the Moai of Easter Island standing silent and stoic against the vast Pacific sky, a single question dominates. How? How did a civilization, isolated by thousands of miles of treacherous ocean, manage to carve, transport, and erect these monumental statues? This isn't just about moving a few large rocks. We're talking about an engineering feat that continues to baffle modern scientists and engineers. Consider the shocking fact. The largest completed Moai, known as Paro, standing majestically at Ahu Tongariti, weighs an estimated 86 tons. To put that into perspective, that's roughly the weight of 14 adult African elephants. It's heavier than a fully loaded Boeing 737 airplane. And get this, there are unfinished Moai still lying in the quarry at Rano Raraku that weigh over 200 tons. That's the weight of a blue whale, the largest animal on Earth. Imagine the sheer force, the human ingenuity, and the complex logistical planning required to quarry these giants from volcanic rock, then somehow move them for miles across rugged terrain, and finally raise them upright onto their ceremonial platforms. No wheels, no large draft animals, just human muscle, ropes, and the brilliance of a lost people. For centuries, this question of how has fueled wild speculation, from elaborate ramp systems to extraterrestrial intervention. But what if the truth, rooted in the incredible resourcefulness of the Rapa Nui people themselves, is even more astounding than the myths? We'll delve into the groundbreaking archaeological discoveries and cutting-edge research that are finally beginning to piece together the puzzle of their construction, revealing astonishingly clever techniques that speak volumes about their sophisticated understanding of physics and mechanics. But the story of Easter Island isn't just about these awe-inspiring statues. It's a profound and gripping tale of the Rapa Nui civilization itself. It's a story of extraordinary success, building a complex society in one of the most remote places on Earth, creating a vibrant culture that thrived for centuries. Yet it's also a dramatic and at times heartbreaking narrative of environmental crisis, resource depletion, and intense societal upheaval that pushed this ingenious culture to the very brink of collapse, long before European contact. We'll explore the evidence of massive deforestation, the fascinating shift in their spiritual beliefs, and the internal conflicts that reshaped their destiny. Prepare to be utterly captivated. We promise to take you beyond the surface-level intrigue, to journey deep into the captivating history of Easter Island. We'll uncover the leading theories about the true purpose of the Moai. Were they ancestral guardians, territorial markers, or something more? We'll reveal what modern science, from DNA analysis to advanced carbon dating, is telling us about their origins and their eventual decline. You'll gain a new appreciation for the Rapa Nui people, not just as builders of giant statues, but as a testament to human resilience, adaptability, and the enduring power of a mystery that continues to resonate today. Get ready, because the secrets of Easter Island are far more profound, complex, and urgent than you can possibly imagine. Before we unravel the Moai's profound secrets, let's truly set the scene. Imagine embarking on one of history's most audacious voyages. You're in a traditional double-hulled canoe, navigating by the stars, the sun, and the subtle swells of the ocean. Day bleeds into night, then into week after week. No land in sight, just the boundless, often unforgiving Pacific. Then on the distant horizon, a tiny volcanic silhouette emerges. This is Easter Island, or Rapa Nui, and its very existence here is a testament to the unparalleled courage and navigational genius of the ancient Polynesians. This isn't just a remote island, it's arguably the most isolated inhabited place on Earth. Rapa Nui sits at the very edge of the vast Polynesian Triangle, a staggering 2,000 kilometers from its nearest inhabited neighbor, Pitcairn Island. To the east, the coast of South America lies an incredible 3,700 kilometers away. To put that in perspective, that's roughly the distance from London to New York. This extreme isolation wasn't just a geographical quirk. It was the defining force that shaped the entire Rapa Nui civilization. Think about it. Limited external resources, a completely self-contained ecosystem, and a unique cultural trajectory free from significant outside influences for centuries. The first settlers, having mastered the art of long-distance oceanic navigation, brought with them not only their families and essentials, but also the genetic blueprint and cultural foundations of their Polynesian heritage. They were true pioneers, venturing into the unknown, driven by exploration and a profound connection to the ocean. Their epic journey immediately sets the stage for a story of remarkable self-reliance, extraordinary resilience, and ingenious adaptation to an incredibly challenging environment. But Easter Island isn't just an isolated outpost, it's a dynamic geological creation. This island emerged from the fiery depths of the Pacific Ring of Fire, the summit of a massive submarine volcano. Over millions of years, successive eruptions sculpted its dramatic and often stark landscape. Three primary extinct volcanoes dominate its corners. Rano Kau in the southwest, with its breathtaking crater lake, Poik in the east, distinct with its eroded features, and the tallest, Maunga Teravaka, which forms the island's expansive backbone, offering panoramic views that stretch across the entire island. The island's volcanic past was a double-edged sword. It gifted the Rapa Nui with remarkably fertile soils, perfect for cultivating vital crops like sweet potatoes, taro, and bananas. But it also created a rugged, often unforgiving coastline with very few natural harbors, making landing and access difficult. Yet, within this challenging landscape lay the very material that would define the island's legacy, the relatively soft, easily workable volcanic tuff. This specific rock, primarily found at the iconic Rano Raraku quarry, would become the birthplace of the colossal Moai. This stark yet beautiful environment, sculpted by fire and time, became both the source of life and the grand canvas for the Rapa Nui's greatest artistic and indeed spiritual expression. Into this incredibly isolated volcanic world stepped the Rapa Nui people. While the exact date is still debated, archaeological evidence suggests their ancestors, master navigators from other Polynesian islands, likely arrived sometime between 800 and 1200 AD. And what they forged here was a truly unique and remarkably sophisticated culture. They developed their own distinct language, also called Rapa Nui, which offers fascinating insights into their worldview and deep connection to their ancestral lands and beliefs. Their society was highly organized, structured around complex clan systems, and guided by a rich oral tradition passed down through generations. They weren't just subsistence farmers. They were ingenious cultivators, developing intricate rock gardens and sophisticated agricultural techniques to maximize yields from their volcanic soil, even in the face of challenging climatic conditions. Beyond the monumental Moai, perhaps their most enigmatic cultural achievement was the Rongorongo script. This system of unique glyphs, carved onto wooden tablets, represents one of the very few indigenous writing systems ever developed in the entire Pacific. While still largely undeciphered, Rongorongo stands as a powerful testament to the intellectual depth and complex thought processes of a people who, despite their profound isolation, forged a civilization of remarkable sophistication and unparalleled cultural richness. They were not primitive islanders. They were brilliant, resourceful, deeply spiritual, and driven by an impulse to create a legacy that would echo across millennia, carved into the very stone of their island home. From the moment you set foot on Easter Island, they are everywhere, standing silent, weathered, and undeniably majestic. These are the Moai, the colossal stone figures that have captivated humanity for centuries, and they are the undisputed stars of Rapa Nui. But what are they truly? And how on earth did a Stone Age civilization create and move these giants? There are nearly 1,000 known moai scattered across this relatively small island. Some stand proudly on ceremonial platforms called ahu, often facing inland, watching over the ancient villages. Others lie toppled, broken, or abandoned mid-creation in the volcanic quarry. Every single one is unique, yet they share striking common features. They're typically monolithic, carved from a single block of volcanic rock, predominantly tuff from the Rano quarry. They feature elongated heads, prominent brows, deep-set eyes, though only a few still bear their original coral and obsidian eyes, which must have been startlingly lifelike. Long noses and thin lips, often with a subtle, serene expression. Their torsos are depicted with hands resting on a distended belly, and some even have faint carvings on their backs. Sizes vary wildly. While the average standing moai is around 4 meters, 13 feet tall, and weighs perhaps 12 to 15 tons, some are truly immense. The largest moai ever successfully erected is named Paro, standing at Ahu Tongariki, soaring to nearly 10 meters, 33 feet, and weighing an astonishing 86 tons. And then there's El Gigante, still lying unfinished in the quarry, a truly colossal figure that would have stood 21 meters, nearly 70 feet tall, and weighed an estimated 270 tons. Just visualizing the scale of these creations begins to hint at the monumental effort and societal organization required. Each one represents not just an artistic triumph, but an engineering puzzle of staggering proportions. So let's tackle the biggest questions. How were they carved? How were they moved? And how were they erected? Carving the moai. The vast majority of the moai were born from the soft, compressed volcanic ash, the tuff, found exclusively at the inner and outer slopes of the Rano volcano. This place is a living archaeological site, a frozen moment in time, with hundreds of unfinished moai still lying in various stages of completion. It's been dubbed the nursery of the moai, and it tells us a tremendous amount. The Rapa Nui carvers used basalt tools, harder volcanic rock, to meticulously chip away at the softer tuff. Think of it like a giant sculpting workshop. Once the front and sides of a moai were carved, they detached it from the bedrock, slid it down the slope, and often carved the back details while it was upright in a shallow pit at the base of the quarry. The scale of the carving operations alone suggests a highly skilled, specialized workforce dedicated solely to this task for generations. Moving the moai. This is where the true mystery intensifies, and theories abound. We're talking about moving dozens of multi-ton statues for kilometers across varied and often challenging terrain. The most widely accepted and scientifically tested theories fall into a few categories. The walking theory. This hypothesis suggests the moai were walked upright, or at a slight lean, by groups of people pulling on ropes. By rocking the statue side to side, much like you might move a refrigerator, they could incrementally shuffle it forward. Experimental archaeology has successfully moved smaller moai using this method, proving its feasibility. It's an elegant solution that requires a lot of coordinated manpower and specific rope techniques, but no complex machinery. This theory is supported by observations of broken moai lying on their bellies from falling forward, or on their backs from falling backward, along ancient roads, suggesting an upright transit. The sled or roller theory. Other theories propose the moai were moved horizontally on wooden sleds pulled over log rollers, similar to how ancient Egyptians moved obelisks. This would require a vast number of tree trunks, something Easter Island once had in abundance, gigantic native palm trees. However, the evidence for extensive roads that would support such a method is less clear, and the sheer friction involved would have been immense. Rope and lever systems. Combinations of ropes, levers, and perhaps even large stones as counterweights could have been used to shift and pull the statues. The key element in all these theories is the immense amount of human labor. It wasn't about a single genius invention, but sustained, organized community effort. The logistical challenge of moving these statues, especially the larger ones, over distances of up to 18 kilometers, highlights the incredible collective power and social cohesion of the Rapa Nui people. It wasn't just physical strength, it was a deeply ingrained cultural drive. So why go to such extraordinary lengths? What was the driving force behind this unprecedented statue-building endeavor? While definitive answers remain elusive, the most compelling theories suggest the Moai were far more than just impressive sculptures. The prevailing theory is that the Moai represented deified ancestors, powerful chiefs, or important lineage figures. They were seen as guardians, embodying the spiritual power or mana of those they depicted. Their inward gaze suggests they were watching over and protecting the communities and resources of their respective clans. These statues were not merely effigies, but perhaps conduits for the spirits of the dead, connecting the living with their heritage and granting blessings. Some scholars propose that the Moai and the Ahu platforms they stood on also served as visible markers of clan territory and status. The size and number of Moai belonging to a particular clan would signify its power, wealth, and prestige, fostering a competitive element among different groups on the island. The Ahu themselves were often elaborate burial sites, containing the remains of important individuals. The Moai, therefore, were integral to the religious and ritualistic life of the Rapa Nui. They were part of a sacred landscape, central to ceremonies and possibly agricultural rituals, ensuring fertility and prosperity for the island. The rare instances of Moai with restored pukao, the massive, cylindrical topknots or hats made of red scoria, further emphasize their symbolic importance. These pukao, weighing many tons themselves, were placed on the heads after the Moai were erected, representing another staggering feat of engineering and likely symbolizing status, power, or even a specific hairstyle. The Moai weren't just stone, they were alive with meaning, deeply intertwined with the spiritual, social, and political fabric of Rapa Nui society. They were a testament to the community's beliefs, their engineering prowess, and their dedication to honoring those who came before them. Each Moai stands as a powerful, enduring symbol of the human drive to create, to connect with the divine, and to leave an indelible mark on the world. Their silence today only amplifies the profound questions they continue to pose about the lost civilization that brought these giants to life. We've marveled at the Moai's creation, witnessed their impossible scale, and pondered their spiritual purpose. But these stone titans are far more than just architectural wonders. They stand as silent, weathered monuments to a profound human story, one of remarkable ingenuity, environmental struggle, and the tragic intersection of cultures. To truly understand the Moai, we must now journey into the complex, often heartbreaking, history of the very civilization that brought them to life. This is where the enduring mysteries of Rapa Nui become a powerful, universal lesson. For centuries, perhaps up to a millennium, the Rapa Nui people built and sustained a truly extraordinary society on this isolated speck of land. Far from being primitive, they developed a highly sophisticated and organized culture. Their social structure was intricate, led by powerful chiefs and a revered priestly class, supported by specialized artisans, skilled farmers, and the dedicated workforce who quarried, moved, and erected the Moai. This wasn't a loose collection of tribes. It was a cohesive society capable of coordinating massive communal projects, requiring immense resources and meticulous planning. They were masterful navigators, but also ingenious land managers. Faced with the challenges of a remote volcanic island, they cultivated vital crops like sweet potatoes, taro, and bananas, developing sophisticated agricultural techniques. Evidence of stone gardens, or manavai, shows how they piled rocks to protect plants from wind and conserve moisture, a testament to their deep understanding of their environment. This period, roughly from 1000 to 1500 AD, represented the zenith of Moai production, reflecting a thriving, confident culture deeply connected to its ancestors and its spiritual beliefs. The very act of raising a Moai was a communal effort, reinforcing social cohesion and shared purpose. But even in this golden age, subtle pressures were building. The population was growing, and with it, the demand for resources. The island's fragile ecosystem, though initially lush, had finite limits. The seeds of their decline, tragically, may have been sown in the very acts of their greatest achievements. The prevailing scientific consensus, supported by decades of interdisciplinary research, points to a devastating environmental catastrophe as a primary catalyst for the Rapa Nui's decline. When the first Polynesians arrived, Easter Island was not the treeless, wind-swept landscape we largely see today. It was covered in a dense subtropical forest, dominated by a unique species of giant palm tree, Pascalococos disperta, a relative of the Chilean wine palm, with trunks perhaps up to 2 meters in diameter and reaching heights of 25 meters. These majestic trees were the lifeblood of the islanders. They provided timber for houses, fuel for cooking, and crucially, material for tools and for the immense logistical undertaking of moving the Moai. Think rollers, sleds, and the frameworks needed for erection. But as the population swelled, so did the demand. Trees were felled for canoes to hunt fish, for firewood, for clearing land for agriculture, and most significantly, for the relentless Moai construction and transport. Pollen analysis from lakebed sediments tells a stark, almost instantaneous story. By around 1400 to 1600 AD, the vast palm forests had virtually disappeared. This wasn't a gradual decline over centuries. It was a rapid, catastrophic deforestation, completed within a few generations. The ecological consequences were immediate and severe. Without the deep root systems of the trees, the fertile topsoil eroded away, carried by the relentless winds and heavy rains. This made farming incredibly difficult, leading to crop failures. Freshwater sources, once protected and filtered by the forest, began to dry up or become contaminated. Bird populations, reliant on the trees for nesting and food, vanished, depriving the islanders of a vital protein source. The very resources that had sustained the Rapa Nui and enabled their incredible cultural feats were now gone, irreversibly. This ecological crisis, in turn, sparked profound and devastating internal conflict. Without wood for large canoes, deep-sea fishing became impossible, leading to severe protein scarcity. Without fertile land, staple foods became agonizingly scarce. Competition over dwindling resources intensified, escalating into clan warfare. Oral traditions, passed down through generations, speak of a grim period. The rise of a ruthless warrior class, the Matatoa, who challenged and largely replaced the authority of the old chieftaincies. We see archaeological evidence of shifted settlement patterns, with people retreating to more defensible caves and coastal fortresses. And perhaps most symbolically and tragically, we see the systematic, deliberate toppling of the sacred Moai. These acts were not random. They were acts of ritualistic desecration, representing the overthrow of a rival clan's spiritual power or a rejection of the old order that could no longer sustain the people. It's a powerful, sobering lesson in the fragility of isolated ecosystems and the dire consequences of unsustainable resource use. The Moai, once symbols of unity and prosperity, became casualties of a society tearing itself apart. As the Rapa Nui people grappled with their internal strife and environmental collapse, a new and devastating force arrived from beyond the horizon, one that would push them to the very precipice of extinction. On Easter Sunday, April 5, 1722, Dutch explorer Jacob Roggeveen stumbled upon the island, naming it Pasch Island, Easter Island. His accounts describe a sparsely populated land with some impressive statues but also clear signs of societal breakdown. Scattered villages, some evidence of conflict. This initial contact was relatively brief, but it opened the door for future, far more devastating encounters. Subsequent European visits, particularly in the late 18th and 19th centuries, brought further calamity. Whalers, sealers, and opportunistic traders began to frequent the island. Missionaries arrived, introducing new religions that, while bringing literacy and new beliefs, inadvertently undermined traditional Rapa Nui spiritual practices and cultural cohesion. But the most brutal and catastrophic blow came in the 1860s. Peruvian slave traders, desperate for labor in their guano mines, launched a series of raids on the island. They captured thousands of Rapa Nui, estimates suggest up to half of the remaining population, forcing them into horrific conditions. The very last of the Rapa Nui chiefs, priests, and those with knowledge of the Rongorongo script were among those taken. When international pressure eventually forced the return of a handful of survivors, they brought with them not salvation, but something far more lethal. Diseases like smallpox and tuberculosis, to which the isolated islanders had no immunity. This was a biological apocalypse. The population plummeted at an unimaginable rate. By 1877, The Rapa Nui population had dwindled from an estimated high of perhaps 15,000 in their peak to a mere 111 individuals. A vibrant, complex culture, already reeling from its own internal struggles, was pushed to the absolute brink of complete obliteration. The island's unique language, its rich oral traditions, and the profound knowledge embedded in its ceremonial practices were fragmented, lost, or irrevocably damaged. The precious wooden rongorongo tablets, the key to unlocking their ancient writing, were either taken by foreigners or destroyed. The Moai, which had survived centuries of creation, then a period of internal conflict and toppling, now stood witness to the near-complete destruction of the very people who understood their true meaning. This tragic chapter serves as a stark and sobering reminder of the devastating impact of colonization, uncontrolled exploitation, and disease on vulnerable indigenous populations worldwide. Today, as we walk among the remnants of this once thriving civilization, the Moai's silence is more profound than ever. They bear witness to the incredible ingenuity and resilience of their creators, to the bitter struggle of a people grappling with the limits of their environment, and to the tragic consequences of unchecked external forces. The story of Easter Island is a complex tapestry of human achievement and human folly, a journey through history that continues to echo through time, prompting us to reflect on our own relationship with our planet, with our resources, and with each other. It asks us, perhaps more urgently than ever, to learn from the past before history repeats itself on a grander scale. We've journeyed across the vast Pacific, explored ancient workshops, and delved into centuries of human struggle and triumph. We've seen how science is revealing new truths, yet as our understanding of Easter Island grows, so too does its profound allure. The story of Rapa Nui and its enigmatic Moai isn't just a chapter in history. It's an enduring legacy of mystery that continues to resonate across the globe. For centuries, Easter Island has captivated the imagination of explorers, scientists, and the public alike. Its extreme isolation, combined with the sheer improbability of its colossal statues, has cemented its place in our collective consciousness as the quintessential mystery island. It's a place that asks fundamental questions about human capability, the limits of resources, and the nature of civilization itself. This enduring fascination isn't just confined to academic journals or historical documentaries. Easter Island, and especially its Moai, have permeated popular culture in countless ways. Think of movies, animated films, and video games that feature the iconic Moai as symbols of ancient secrets, lost worlds, or even alien civilizations. They appear in cartoons, on merchandise, and are instantly recognizable across continents. This widespread representation, while sometimes fantastical, speaks to the profound impact these statues have had on our collective imagination. They symbolize the unknown, the unsolved, and the incredible achievements of a long-lost past. This isn't just a tourist destination, it's a global icon, a touchstone for curiosity and wonder. Despite decades of intensive research, the Moai still guard many secrets, and that, perhaps, is part of their lasting appeal. While we have strong theories about their carving and movement, the precise methods for the largest ones still ignite debate. The full meaning of their enigmatic expressions, the specific rituals performed at the Ahu, and the exact reasons for their eventual toppling still offer fertile ground for speculation and ongoing study. Every new archaeological find seems to answer one question only to raise several more. The discovery of intricate carvings on the buried bodies of Moai at Rano, for instance, has opened up entirely new avenues of research into their symbolism and function. The ongoing reevaluation of population numbers, environmental timelines, and even external contact theories keeps the academic world buzzing. It reminds us that history is not a static set of facts, but a dynamic narrative that is constantly being reinterpreted and enriched by new evidence. The Moai don't just stand, they continue to provoke, to challenge, and to inspire generations of researchers to dig deeper, both literally and figuratively. Their stoic silence belies a universe of untold stories, urging us to listen more closely. Ultimately, Easter Island's legacy is a multifaceted one, offering powerful lessons that transcend its remote shores. It is, first and foremost, a powerful testament to human ingenuity. Imagine the sheer audacity of those early Polynesian voyagers, crossing thousands of miles of open ocean to find this tiny island. Then consider the Rapa Nui, who with only Stone Age tools, carved and moved monuments weighing hundreds of tons. This was a people who pushed the boundaries of what was thought possible, demonstrating incredible engineering skill, social cohesion, and an unwavering commitment to their cultural and spiritual beliefs. Their achievements remind us of the boundless potential of human creativity and collective effort, even in the most challenging environments. Secondly, Easter Island is a profound symbol of human resilience. The story of the Rapa Nui is not solely one of decline. It's also a testament to their remarkable ability to survive catastrophic environmental collapse, devastating internal conflict, and the near annihilation by external forces. From a population reduced to just over 100 individuals, their descendants have not only endured but are actively revitalizing their culture, language, and traditions. This enduring spirit, their tenacity in preserving their identity against all odds, is an inspiring message of hope and strength. Finally, and perhaps most captivatingly, Easter Island remains a powerful symbol of the enduring power of mystery. In an age where information is abundant, Rapa Nui stands as a reminder that some questions remain unanswered. Some histories are still being pieced together. It nurtures our innate curiosity, our desire to explore the unknown, and our capacity for wonder. The Moai, with their silent gazes, continue to invite us into a deeper contemplation of our past, our present, and our future. They challenge us to look beyond the obvious, to appreciate the complexities of history, and to learn from the triumphs and tragedies of those who came before us. Easter Island, with its windswept landscapes and its colossal, mysterious guardians, is more than just an archaeological site. It is a powerful narrative etched in stone, a timeless reminder of human ambition, the delicate balance of our planet, and the unbreakable spirit of a people. Its legacy is not just about a lost civilization, it's a living, breathing enigma that continues to speak volumes about what it means to be human. What do you think happened on Easter Island? What lessons resonate most with you? We'd love to hear your thoughts and theories in the comments below. If you were captivated by this journey into a lost civilization, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more explorations into the world's most intriguing historical enigmas. Join us next time as we continue to unravel the secrets of our past, one lost civilization at a time.